A little support can help others take a step forward in trying to overcome a terrifying situation. There is now a first-of-its-kind support group in Alabama. Linda Mays found one woman who offers support for those diagnosed with head and neck cancers.
Back of the head.
Health experts are seeing more images like this, x-rays revealing head and neck tumors.
Head and neck cancers are very difficult for patients. We take our mouth and our swallowing so for granted every day, of just the little things of eating and swallowing and chewing.
It had a story in there that was so close to mine.
Karen Clenny can relate. She felt a pea-sized bump on her neck in 2007, yet a CAT scan and even a needle biopsy uncovered nothing. It wasn't until after surgery to remove the growth that she learned it was stage 4 cancer.
There was no big tumor. It was lymph nodes that were swollen, so they biopsied everything and found the primary site on the back of my tongue.
7 weeks of daily cancer treatment started with 3 rounds of chemotherapy.
Then I started radiation and had to have a stomach tube, because at some point in radiation treatment in your throat you can no longer swallow. It's very difficult. It's not as much a sore throat as it is a fullness, and the radiation burns the inside of your throat and the outside of your throat.
The 66-year-old wife, mother, and grandmother could only swallow water then. During the last 5 years since treatment, a bottle of water has been a constant companion for her. Clenny lost function of her salivary glands, leaving her mouth dry, limiting the foods she could eat.
With asparagus, that might be something I could have.
Life is not the same after cancer. Now Clenny is helping others know what to expect during and after a battle with cancer like hers. She started the first Alabama chapter of a national nonprofit organization called SPOHNC. It's Support for People with Oral and Head and Neck Cancer, Inc. It matches survivors with survivors to share information and solutions to common problems such as the inability to chew, gain weight, and even speak.
And the first man that I talked to in Indianapolis said, go to a speech therapist. The same muscles you use for swallowing are the same muscles you use for speech. And one of the other people they matched me to said, you need to start eating soup. So she sent me a bunch of soup recipes, and that kept me alive.
The local support group started in July 2012 and meets every 3rd Tuesday of the month. So far, a small group of 11 people attend, but Clenny says it's the sharing of their experiences that makes a big difference in their lives.
I think at some point, everybody that's gone through this much treatment gets really down and has a hard time because you're so isolated. You're sick a long time, and then when you're beginning to feel better, you still can't do the things you want to do. When you come to the support group, we're encouraging. We don't sit around and talk about our cancer. We talk about what we can do to help someone else.
Clenny says she believes it's God's will that her life includes cancer and healing, and now encouraging others. Knowing what to expect helps survivors make better decisions, lifestyle changes, and stay hopeful. Now, the local support group for survivors of oral and head and neck cancer and their families meets every 3rd Tuesday at noon at St. Vincent's Bruno Cancer Center. Now, here's a phone number for more information. It's 205-930-2217.
I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that she didn't know she had cancer, even after a needle biopsy, until after she came out of surgery.
That's right. The doctor didn't know. The test didn't show signs of a tumor, of cancer. So no, she didn't know. It was stage 4. As she says, there's no stage 5, so it was the worst.
Wow.
Right. So now she advocates that everyone, you should know the possible signs and symptoms of head and neck cancer, which include a persistent nasal congestion that doesn't improve, a white or red patch in your mouth, a persistent sore throat not relieved by medication. Now, you'll find more of these signs and symptoms on our website at abc3340.com. And reading through them, Pam, I mean, it can be startling.
Just to think about it. Some life-saving information. Linda, thank you so much.
Certainly.
We'll be back with more in a moment.